Hi guys, it's Sam from Creatively Sam's. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you stopped by. Today's video is a DIY Glam Patriotic Centerpiece. The hardest part of this was waiting for the glue and glitter to dry. And I love the way this turned out. And you can see it glows like crazy in the dark. And I can't wait to see this in a tablescape. So if you want to see how I did this, stay tuned. It's coming up next. Okay, I got this vase from the Dollar Tree. And I got these little ramekins from the Dollar Tree. And what I have in mind is to paint them. And I've had problems in the past trying to get paint to stick on these. So I found that if I give it a good coat of this frosted glass, it gives it enough tooth to hold on to the paint. It makes painting it so much easier. So I'm just going to put one good coat of paint on both of these. Okay, I've got a coat of paint on these. The ramekin I did on the outside. And I've got a reason for doing this. Then again, you guys know me very well by now. But anyway, I'm going to let this dry and then we'll get started painting. Okay, what I did was I put some masking tape on the vase and I put 4 pieces. And I'm using this more of a guideline than anything else. But I'm going to be painting in red and blue. And I don't want anything where the tape is. And like I said, I'm just using this as a guide. And I'm going to do my darndest to get the first coat on nice and smooth. And then when this dries, I'll add a second coat. I'm not going to do 3 coats for this. And I have a reason if it works out. Okay, there's the first coat of red. And then I'll skip this and put blue. And I'll be doing red on that one. Okay, I got 1 coat on everything. I was originally going to do this little ramekin in red, but the more I thought about it, I'm more partial to blue, so I decided to do it in blue, and I left the center with no paint on it so that it can be attached. So after this completely dries, then I'll give it its second coat. Okay, I've got 2 coats of each of the colors on, and I'm going to be letting those dry. I'm going to let them dry for several hours. And once they're dry, then I'm going to get out my Podge. Okay, it's all nice and dry to the touch. This is 2 coats on both. And now what I want to do is I'm going to add glitter to this. And I've got Ruby and Red Hot Fiesta. And Ruby is a very fine glitter and the Fiesta is a little bit chunkier. And I'm going to mix the 2 of these in 1 cup. And the other cup, I have Sapphire and Unicorn Dust. And the Sapphire is an ultra fine, and the Unicorn Dust is a larger holographic glitter. And I'm not going to put that much of this in it because I don't want the blue to be taken over, but I do want the sparkle of the Unicorn Dust. And needless to say, if I have left over, then I have leftover, I'll just use it for another project. And I'm just going to use a craft stick and stir it all up. And you can see that looks mostly blue, but it does have that sparkle in it that really makes it pop. And I'm going to do the same thing with the red. Okay, I've got Mod Podge. And I'm going to start with the red, and I'm going to let this completely dry before I do the blue. And all I'm going to do is put this on relatively thick. It's thicker than I usually do. Just because of the larger chunks of glitter that I'm using. And I don't know if you can see, but I've got the folded paper, like I always do when I'm playing around with glitter, because it makes it so much easier to put it back into the containers. Now this, because I've mixed it, I'm going to put it in a small plastic container so that I can use it another time. And I've got the Mod Podge in a separate plate. And the reason that I do that is so that I don't have any glitter contaminate the jar. Because I would really hate to have red glitter in my jar when I'm trying to do something like white. Okay, that's on pretty good. And this is the glitter that I mixed. And there's the beginning. And like I said, I've got the folded paper, because all you have to do is pour it back in. And you don't lose any, and it doesn't make such a huge mess. Because, like I say in every one of my glitter videos, God love my husband, but glitter finds him no matter where he is. So I try really hard not to let it get everywhere. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. And then I'm going to let it dry overnight. And then tomorrow I'm going to do the blue. And I don't know if you noticed on this, there is no paint. And there'll be no glitter in the center of this dish. And there's none on the bottom of the vase either. And that way when I glue them together, it'll have a good hold. Oh, that red looks so nice. And I'm getting ready to put the blue on. Right now I'm making sure that there's no red on the blue. And I'm just using a nice soft dry brush. And I'm putting a nice heavy coat of the Mod Podge on the blue. And it's going to be really fun when this is all done, because I have never tried anything with the masking tape before. So I don't know if it's going to come off easily or if I'm going to have to use an X-Acto knife to trim it. 'Cause I sure don't want it taken off the paint. But to keep these colors separate is why I decided to do it this way. Ah, gosh, that's so pretty. I really do have a strange obsession with glitter. I don't even know where I got this obsession. I just know that I love it. And it makes me happy. Okay, it's glittered all over. And it's going to sit for a few hours until I am sure that all of the Mod Podge is completely dry. But yeah, that thing's sparkling like crazy, and this is going to make one heck of a centerpiece. Okay, we'll be back after it has had a chance to completely dry. And I'm going to let this go for anywhere between 5 and 8 hours, depending on when I get back to it. Okay, I got this all sprayed, so it doesn't have very much fall off. I mean, if you bang it, the ones that are sticking out will, but yeah, there's almost no fall off at all. So what I'm going to do before I do anything else is try to remove the tape. And like I said, I don't know what's going to happen with this since it is masking tape. And if it doesn't seem to be behaving itself, I have the X-Acto knife and I'll just score along the side if needed. But like I said, before I do anything else, I'm going to take this tape off. And I can already tell it's going to need a little scoring. Okay, I'll be back after I get the tape off. Okay, most of the tape came off pretty evenly. I actually did have to get in there with a pair of scissors in a couple places to get it to cut loose because it wanted to pull it aside. And like right here, it's a little wider, but I'll be able to fix that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to this, and then I'm going to let it sit overnight. And for this I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue, but mostly E6000. Okay, I'm taking the E6000 and I'm going to put it all the way around the ramekin, but I'm going to leave little spots in between, and that's leaving me a place for the hot glue. And the E6000 is going to give it a permanent hold, but the hot glue is going to give me an instant hold. Now what I'm going to do is, once I put that on there, I'll try to center this as best I can. Give me a second to get this centered. And I'm going to turn this over so it's got a little weight. And I'm going to let this sit overnight before I do another thing with it. Okay, I've got some diamond wrap, and I have cut this 5 rows wide, And I'm going to be using some E6000 and a little hot glue. And I'm going to put it in where the tape was. And I'll be back when I'm done with that. And the only thing I have left to do is finish trimming this. And the nice thing about this bling is that you can cut right through the stones. So you can make it nice and straight, even though it's at an angle. And I just love the way that sparkles. And I could leave it as it is, but you know me. I've got a push light that I got at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to turn out the lights and see how that looks. And it might be hard to see. No, it's glowing beautifully. Wow. Yeah, I really love this. This is going to be a super centerpiece. And I'm going to use it as a centerpiece. Wow. That is really sparkling like crazy. I found this at Walmart and they call it a berry branch, and I paid roughly $4, $3, something like that for it. I don't remember for sure. And I have some Dollar Tree white roses, and I'm going to combine the two in the vase. And these are definitely going to need cut down. Well, there it is with flowers and the glitter berry bush. I'm going to wait until it gets dark and take a picture of it so that you can see how much this is glowing. This is unbelievable. I am so pleased with this one. Well, there it is with the lights out, and boy, is that thing just shining like crazy. And there's some of the lights on. And you can see the light coming through the blue just a little bit. And it's sparkling like crazy. I really like this one, and it's going to look great on my patriotic tablescape. So if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, and happy creating, everyone.